Here, Brad. All right, hi folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heine, physical therapist.
Today we have the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we're going to talk about 7 cool things that we're going to be giving away on Facebook really soon. In fact, we're starting one today already. It's the Bob and Brad Great Giveaway. It's like we're Santa Claus, Brad.
Let's go on.
Okay. By the way, if you are new to our channel, and if you're watching this, like let's say on the rebroadcast on YouTube, make sure you take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, and pain-free, and we upload every day. You also want to make sure if you're not on Facebook yet, obviously if you're on Facebook, we're live, and give us the thumbsies and the heartsies. But if you're not
on the Facebook,
yeah. If you're not on the Facebook, you want to get over there because we're going to be giving away stuff. We're blowing out the doors here. So
it sounds like a furniture store.
That's right. Right here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. Make sure to like us on Facebook. We're going to start off with the first one, Brad. This is the one that's already listed on our Facebook page. Our Facebook page, by the way, is Bob and Brad. It's in the link below.
Yeah, you can't forget that, Bob and Brad.
Yeah. And the first thing we're giving away is a pad for the wrist and also for your mouse.
Right.
So it's like a gel pad. You want to hold those things up, Brad?
Oh, that's the mouse.
That's the mouse.
And here's the pad. This is a nice gel pad for mouse, and you can put the the palm, the heel of your palm right in there. It really gives a nice rest there, and it gets that ulnar nerve a break, as well as this is a real nice gel cushion for your key pad.
Yeah, and the thing is with all these, what you're trying to do is keep your wrists in neutral, which is right here, not upward like this and not like that. You can be a little bit flexed like this. So you want to make sure the positioning where when you're typing at your keyboard, you want to have your arm at a right angle here and the hand flat like this, or a little bit below flat. And that's why the pad works out really well for that. We've already got this up on Facebook. All you have to do is you go to the picture. And I apologize, it's a bad picture, Brad. I got it off of Amazon, and it wasn't a good one.
We're therapists, we're not techs.
We're not tech.
Look at this, Bob. I'm typing 472 words a minute.
Oh, very impressive. Very impressive. And by the way, we did a video on this where we showed this, Brad, and remember we couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it mysteriously showed up in my office, and I know it was my wife. I know it was you.
Now she probably.
You broke my heart. I know it was you. You broke my heart. That's a line from The Godfather. You broke my heart. So
she doesn't watch any of our videos, so he can say that.
Hopefully not. Hopefully this isn't the one time she decided to do so. Now this is the place that supplied this. By the way, they're giving us 3 of these. So 3, you have a chance to win. One of 3. Right. They're also giving away this next one. The Ergonomics. It's Ergonomics Innovations is the name of the company.
Sure.
We got links below. Where is it, Brad? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, it's
Now this is going to be for someone who's specifically having trouble with. Well, we had used it for a video. We just did a video on tailbone pain or coccydynia. That means pain of the coccyx.
Coccydylia or dynia?
Dynia.
Okay, good. I just wanted to be clear.
And you can also use it, obviously, for hemorrhoids, or if you have like an ulcer or anything on the bottom going on there. I don't know if it would work for piriformis, Brad, because I think you'd be sitting on the piriformis.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. I guess it's possible, but this would be right on the chair, right there, and you would sit on it. It actually has a groove cut right here, and that's for your coccyx, so it doesn't get pressure on it. So it's not only has the circle, but it has a groove, and it's a nice foam. It's got a good density. It's not too firm, not too soft.
Working like using the car, use it on an airplane. I mean, you could use it in all sorts. Yeah. So we're giving away 3 of those too. That's going to be the next thing that'll go up probably next week, Brad.
Sure.
All right, we're going right in the order. Kind of less expensive to more expensive. We're going to be giving away a bunch of hand exercises. Brad, these are from the FEI company. Where's that catalog? Is that still around?
Yeah, it is. It's over there behind you. Behind the computer, Bob. Back there. I'll do anything to get him off screen just so I can talk without him. Oh, he's coming back already. All
right. FEI, Fabrication Enterprises Incorporated. They're giving us a lot of products. They're giving us a couple of ones to give away today. 3 of them, actually. They're supplying 3 of them. Great company. If you're a physical therapist, you probably want to go ahead and get the catalog. They do have, you can buy online, and I got a link below.
Sure.
And they also have distributors. But they have a whole bunch of exercisers, Brad. These are going to be good for someone who's trying to recover from a hand surgery or just want to increase their strength.
Right.
So
this is a nice one. It reminds me if you're a trumpet player, but it's for strengthening individual fingers. And the really nice thing about this particular one is the spring intensity, or how hard it is to squeeze, is variable by the color. And here they've got 8 different strengths, and you just pull them out. Like if I had this black is too strong, I'm going to go to the red color. You just pop that one in and snap it in, and there we go.
So you can actually do individual strengthening. So
right.
If you have one that's a little bit weaker than the other, you can actually put a lesser resistance in there or more resistance.
Sure.
So this is the more advanced set for working on flexion.
This is something probably an occupational therapist would purchase.
Yeah.
You know, at the home, you're probably not going to get this extensive, but it is available. And for you therapists out there, it's a nice, well built.
These are the brand name Can Do.
Sure.
Like you can do it.
Say no more about it.
That's the more advanced one. I think the one that they probably first generation one that they started off with. I'll put it up a little closer on this, and I'll put it a little closer on Facebook. This one is just you can't interchange it all, but you can just still work each individual flexion. And it's the DigiFlex, and they come in different, again, resistance. This is 5 pounds, the green one. So we'll be giving away some of those. We'll be giving away some of these. If you want to work on extension, so you can just slip your fingers in there and the thumb.
So extension means to open your hand
like
out.
this. So you can work on getting the strength increased on your fingers in this direction. Pretty cool, huh, Brad?
Yeah, exactly. Now, the neat thing is if you want to work on both flexion or squeezing and extension or opening, so you get that function of both squeezing and opening with one simple device, there you go.
This is the Can Do ball, and this is called the Digi Extend and Squeeze. So you extend, and then you can go down into squeeze it. So you're going to get both. You're going to strengthen the flexors and the extensors at the same time. I don't got all my
get the pinky in there, Bob.
There we go. Now we're working them all.
The small finger,
Boy, that's
but it's
a workout.
Yeah.
That is a workout, Brad. And these all come in different intensities too, basically.
Yeah.
Want to try that?
Yeah, I do.
All right, we're moving right along, Brad. Okay, number 4. This is what Brad and I just.
Now, Bob, I just want to back up. This rubber band is really tight. If I was you can get different color rubber bands, right?
Exactly.
So you can vary the intensity.
Oh, right there.
Look at that. Simple, but very effective.
Yeah. They've thought of everything, Brad.
I wouldn't use it for a hard ball, though.
For like pitching or what?
Right, for hitting with a baseball bat. I wouldn't do that.
All right, if you're in the house, I did that one already.
Oh,
you were messing around with something. I don't know.
Sorry, Bob.
By the way, the way we're going to run this thing again, we're going to go through all 7 products, and then we'll try to take some questions at the end. So go ahead and load up our box with questions, and we'll get to them. This one we did a video on this. I think it just came up last night.
On the calipers?
Yeah, the calipers that we were how to measure body fat and lose body fat.
Sure. Yep.
So we're getting again, the same company, FEI, is giving away 3 of these calipers, and these are real nice. They're a plastic caliper, and you just basically pinch and pull, and you can take different body measurements. And it comes with a chart that measures 4 different areas.
Right.
And then you add them all up, and you can see whether or not you're losing body fat over time or you're gaining body fat.
Right.
And so
it'll give you a pretty close estimate of what % of your body is.
It shows up against the white shirt, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, Bob.
So we're going to be giving away 3 of these. This will be coming up in a couple of weeks. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
All right, moving up yet. Now the next one is by Thermatex. They've been very generous. They're giving us 2 of these. One of different sizes here. This is the Platinum model. What this is far infrared heat. And the way this is way much different than regular heat. Regular heat will only penetrate a couple millimeters.
What he means by regular heat is if you have an electric hot pack that you put on
or
your
a moist hot pack,
or a moist hot pack,
radiant heat,
right,
a light.
One of those hot packs that go in they either go in the freezer for cold or you can put it in the microwave. That's just that heat is just conducts right through contact.
It's warming up the surface really well.
Right. Feels good and it warms up, but it does not get near as deep as infrared.
This will penetrate 60 millimeters, which is 2.36 inches, which is quite far. Right. So when you're doing this, like when you're using this, and what's nice about the Platinum, you can use it on every body part.
Sure.
And when, let's say if you're doing it around the elbow, it's going to penetrate all the way through the elbow because of that 2.36 inches. You know, one side it's going to go 2.36, and the other side, so it's going to go all the way through.
He's going to wrap it. Go ahead.
I can just slip my elbow in here. This thing is actually heating up right now. It feels really good.
Right.
So there's these 3 pads in this one, and
if you can find the Velcro, there you go.
It's got a long strap and a short strap. This is their most popular model by far, Brad. It's got 3 panels, and the hard panel goes to the body because that's what directs the.
I always remember by the pretty name of different colors. That always goes towards the skin.
Okay, and this foam helps direct the.
Right. Now, unlike heat that you get from a normal hot pack, that you have to have contact to the skin to get good conduction, there can be an air gap and it'll still get that 2.36 inches. So if you got a ½ inch air gap, you're still going to get, you know, over 1.5 inches of depth on your heat. So it's a big advantage.
Yeah, and you don't have, in other words, you don't have to conform directly to the body.
Right, exactly.
And you can go over clothing. And it's very, there are not really much for contraindications. That we're worried about pregnant women, I guess.
Right. Pacemaker?
No, they found out I was fine with a pacemaker.
Okay.
So, well, we went over all this on the video, so you want to watch the video
or if you get, it'll be in the instructions as well.
Yeah. So we're going to be giving one of these away separately. And by the way, I saw a lady on Facebook that mentioned that she was going for treatments for infrared, far infrared, and she was paying like $500 a week for treatments.
Right.
So,
and the infrared, they were using the same.
Yeah, it's all the same principle. If it's
Right.
far infrared, it's far infrared.
Sure.
So I mean, this is really quite a bargain for that. We got a link below for that. And the next one they're giving away, which we'll do on a separate day, is what they call the big slipper. And it looks like a big slipper.
It does look like a pretty big
Or the
slipper.
big shoe. I guess either name would work out really well. Now on this one, all you have to do is slip your feet in. And what I like about this is it's very fast. You can just take your shoes off and then slip your feet in there real quickly. And I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that if I go down too far. So, and it's got the panels on the bottom, so the heat's gonna penetrate up and through.
Here, let me help. Let's give them a profile. Put your foot back in there, Bob. Yep. Just don't
Lord.
fall off the table there.
Good
Bob.
Lord.
Look at that. All right, you could use it, you know, you could put 2 of them on there. I wonder if you probably could use it for flipper in the water.
No, I don't think so, but
anyway,
you could put, you definitely slip both feet in there at the same time. So if you're one of those people that has poor circulation, you can put it on, you can just use it at work on a regular basis. I mean, what they recommend for treatment time for all of these, you know, for both of these, is that it usually takes like 10 minutes to warm up.
Right.
And then they recommend that you have it on for another half hour. So usually the full treatment time is like about 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes.
So the one thing I do like about this that is not true with other hot packs, particularly the typical electric one where you crank up different temperatures. These do not get very warm. You're not going to burn yourself on this. You could fall asleep with it for hours, and it's not going to bother
you. Shouldn't, though. They don't want you to fall asleep with them, but you wouldn't get harmed.
Right. Whereas the other type, you know, if you have it too warm and you fall asleep with it, you know, you could possibly.
It's got one temperature. It's got a liner in there in case you got neuropathy and your feet are a little bit sensitive. It'll protect your foot a little more from, you know, if you don't really want much of a heat at all, but just feeling the sensation going through the foot.
Sure.
Good for plantar fasciitis, good for arthritis, good for really any foot pain. It's going to work out well for that, for decreased circulation.
One thing, you're not going to want it if you injure your foot, like if you sprain your ankle, you're not going to go home. Or you know,
not right after you sprain.
Right. No. You know, anything acute, in other words, that's inflamed and tender, that's really tender, then you may want to avoid.
You want to wait that for a couple days anyway, or at least maybe a couple weeks even. All right, the next one is we're back to FEI again, and this is the paraffin wax. I'll repeat that because I was turned away from the microphone. The paraffin wax unit. This is Waxwell. Again, FEI, if you're a therapist, you want to get their catalog. But this is we just did a video on this. It's going to go up within the next week or so. It's kind of a spa treatment is basically what it is. But if you're having trouble with your hand or foot as far as pain or arthritis, this is really a nice gift, Brad. This is a beauty.
It's hot wax. You submerge your whole hand or foot in the wax, and it does just a wonderful job of deep heat into the skin. You know, it's not like the infrared, but it really does a nice job because
Yeah, envelopes.
right,
And
envelopes every square inch of your hand gets, you know, submersed and covered with the warm wax.
well, the positive thing about this is what this would do over the infrared is that it actually moisturizes your skin.
Good point, Bob.
Yeah, if you keep it on for like 30, I mean, that's where a lot of spas use this, Brad, just purely for that. They use it to help moisturize the skin and make your skin look better. Now this, you know, if you saw my feet, you'd go, Bob, stick your feet in there right now, because
You don't even want to see it.
yeah, you don't want to see them because they're cracked and, you know, and the dry skin.
You don't have to go into
All right, you
detail,
don't need
Bob.
detail, it's too
No,
much
just
information.
People understand.
All right, so this is a unit. You can use it at home. It comes with the little plastic bags that you would slip over your hand after you put the plastic on. And then you do go ahead and have a little mitt that you can slide in there and it helps hold the heat in. And then when you're done, you just slide the wax off. And I just like a little bit of piece on my finger here, and you throw it away. And it's a great little treatment. We were just talking about on the last video, is our staff, actually at one of our facilities, they're using it more than anybody else during the winter because of their dry skin, and it works just really well for them. All right, number 7, Brad, the final one.
Okay.
All right, we've done a video before by Flex-a-Spot. They make a table that goes from sitting to standing. So this is trying to help, you know, combat that whole problem that, you know, sitting is the new poison, sitting is the new smoking, where sitting is very harmful for you.
Sure.
So they've come up with a device, and I'm sorry, but I don't know, I didn't write it down correctly maybe, but it's called the exercise workstation. Basically, it's a station where you can stand, or you can sit and pedal, or you can just sit. Do you want to go ahead and show this, Brad?
Yes, I do, Bob.
This is how high tech we are. Brad's going to first show it on Facebook. And there's a guy there, he's pedaling, and he's got his laptop there.
Hey, here's pedaling.
I would recommend what you want to do. I have a link below. You want to watch the link because it's actually got a video of the link. Why don't you show it on Facebook?
It looks like this one.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
There's a video on below if you watch it. It gives a whole demonstration of it. We're not doing it justice at all. Again,
there we go.
Our limited text knowledge, we weren't able to, you know, some guys probably could have hooked that video right up to this thing and you could have watched it while we were watching it, but I don't know how to do that.
He's
so
pedaling here. The computer
Brad, you're really
workstation is
doing
here.
quite a good job there. So they're gonna.
I think I could do this for a living, Bob.
Okay, right now, Brad, they're giving away one of these nationwide to everybody. So you can go in and sign up for that. Later on, and then they're doing a Kickstarter campaign.
Okay.
So you can go to the Kickstarter campaign, and once that's eventually, there's a whole sign-up thing down below if you want to do it.
Sure.
But eventually, once they have it going, they're going to give us one, and they're going to give us one to give away. So that's going to be.
So we're going to have one here we can play with.
That we can play with. We're going to have one that we can give away just to our subscribers. So that's going to be a really cool thing to do. So that's the 7 products. We'll now take questions, Brad, if you have any that you have sticking out there. We can talk about anything. We can talk about back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, anything on Facebook, Lonnie? Anybody alive? Anybody?
This prolonged use of heating pad causes bruising. I think I overuse it for my back, but only relief.
Does it cause bruising? I don't know if that would cause bruising, but it could certainly make it worse. With bruising, I'm starting to worry that you might, you know, be if you're on a blood thinner.
Right. That's what I was just thinking. If you're on a blood thinner and you put heat on it and you have a bruise already, it could make it worse. So yeah, again, if you're taking those kind of medications, that would be something to stay away from.
What were you going to show, Brad? You want me to?
Well, someone was asking. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but how do you use one of these on your low back?
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, you can lay right on these. The way I like to do it, though, again, it's the Thermotex here. I like to just put it right here and lay back on it. But this actually, you can strap this around your back. By the way, you want the cord always going away from you. And so here again, the hard panels go to the body. And you can take the longer strap and bring it right around like this. And now it'll go where you go, Brad. This thing, that's what's really nice. Now you can't go for a run, but you can certainly stand. You know, am I losing Facebook? You can certainly stand and work at your desk or sit down. And again, you can. That's what's nice about it. The recommendation they have for treatment when using this is to do it for, like we said, 30 to 45 minutes. But you want to do it twice a day, especially to start off with, especially for up to about 2 weeks, 10 days. And then after that, you can drop down to 1 time a day. But that's what they have found has really worked for giving yourself some relief. What we recommend along with that is that you want to, once you've heated the area up, that allows you then to try some exercises with the back, some stretches, some strengthening. And we've got lots of videos on that to show that. Anything, Brad?
Well, there's a lot of comments that really don't.
No questions?
Yeah, right. Some. I have inner big toe pain. What can I do? Well,
inner big toe?
Right.
Why you have it in the first place. One thing I've noticed, Brad, like a lot of times after people stub a toe and the bone has healed, but the tendons haven't.
Sure.
Or maybe the ligaments haven't. And so what we actually do is called cross fiber massage. So if this is your toe, you actually rub, you find that area that hurts and you're going to rub on that. And generally what a good sign is if after you rub it for a while, the pain starts to get numb.
So he's talking about 30 seconds. After about 30 seconds, it should feel better or numbish feeling.
Yeah, if it gets worse and worse and worse, like after a minute or two, it's actually getting worse, then it's too early for that. Then you might have to do ice or something like that to calm it down. Maybe use the paraffin bath. But generally what I find is that, especially with pain that's not going away, there's scar tissue. And that scar tissue is pulling, causing pain.
Sure. Someone.
Boy, my back is really heating up with this thing. This really works out good.
Well, that's a good question because I think it's higher. Hey, McDonald, is there a rule of thumb for too much heat? When is it too much heat?
Well, first off, you want to use heat right after you injure it.
Right.
When you acutely injure your back. But beyond that, I don't think there is too much heat, Brad. Do you?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to tell someone to lay on it for 3 hours.
Right.
I mean, or depending on how hot it is, but I usually say 15 to 20 minutes. They recommend up to 45 minutes with the infrared.
I think with the infrared too, I heard one of the representatives from the company said she used to use it just to stay warm. She'd keep it, seriously, she kept it in her chair. And when she'd show up at work, and she lives up in Canada, I mean, they're up in Calgary.
Sure.
She'd put it up in there, and during those winter months, she'd just lean up against it to keep her warm. Really no side effects, so you're just getting increased circulation, so I don't see any problems.
Right. Again, with these is one thing. If you're using another hot pack that may feel too warm.
Yeah, a hot pack you could burn yourself with.
Right. That's where that 15 to 20 minute rule comes in. And listen to your body. If it feels too hot, take it off.
All right.
So that's a good question.
So how do we enter to win?
How do we enter to win? Oh, good question. Very simple. Now, the first one we have out there is that pad for the wrist. All you have to do is go to Facebook. You find that picture, and you just have to like that post. They call it a post when you put up a picture.
Sure.
You just go down there and like it, or give us a comment. I mean, but if you liked it, I go through all the names, and I just pick a random number, and I count down, and I pick a name. And by the way, if you do win, we would really appreciate it if you send us a picture with the product. We'll put it on our Facebook page.
Sure.
So give you a little free advertisement yourself there for yourself. Somebody, when we gave away a foam roller, she sent a picture of that. I thought that was so nice.
Yeah, that was. So, what about? Here's a good question from Abby Normal.
Abby Normal.
Remember from Young Frankenstein?
No, I didn't know. I don't know that.
Anyway, that's an old movie. Anyways, Abby Normal, does heat help myofascial back pain?
I would say yes. That's kind of a strange diagnosis, myofascial back pain.
Yeah, it depends on who you're seeing. Some people use that as a diagnosis, and other people will use another, say the source of pain is from something else. That's a little controversial in the medical field.
Yeah, if you go and see someone with a back problem, depending on who you see, you'll get 5 different diagnoses. If you're seeing a chiropractor, orthopedic doctor, a physical therapist, myofascial expert.
Yeah, you could have a therapist that's trained in McKenzie is going to give you a different answer than a therapist trained in John Burns.
Right.
So it all depends. on how people approach the pain and approach the
what you're
problem.
seeing.
Mhm.
But in most cases, after the initial acute injury, that first 24 to 48 hours, you
Right.
can usually do heat. Sometimes people alternate heat with ice,
Right.
and that works out real well too. But I'm really heating up well here, Brad.
Yeah, I know. I was
So
thinking
nice.
you're not going to take it off, are you?
I'm kind of ready to go here. So
Typically, for back pain in general with my patients, most of the time I have them use cold. I'm not opposed to heat, but I'll have them use cold, particularly because when they're seeing a therapist, a lot of times it's acute. But I'll say, if it's been there a while, if it's just tight, then loosen those muscles up, then I really like the heat. But I'll go back and forth. I'm not a diehard one way or another. I treat how the person responds.
I think the cold often helps the spasms better. It seems like to me if they're having spasms. And if you have arthritis, a lot of times people really don't like to have cold on it.
Right.
A lot of times
That's a good point.
Prefer the heat. So, a few more questions. Anything else on Facebook, Lonnie?
I think that's the question.
That answers the question that you just had. Okay. Good question about how to win on the contest. That was a little detail we left out there. So you just got to like the post and anything else, Brad? Or are we wrapping up here?
Well, boy, there's a lot of nice comments here. Just young lady, Lynn from Ottawa, Canada. She said, "Love your channel. Cured my shoulder tendonitis following your advice. Thanks." That's not from this. I was just patting ourselves on the back from our YouTube
There we
channel.
go. All right. Yeah, we really love the comments. And again, we apologize. Well, we used to be able to answer every comment, and now we simply don't have the time. I mean, Brad and I are still working full-time as therapists, and we're getting hundreds of comments a day, and people want us to help, cure them. But, a lot of times put it out there because sometimes fellow subscribers will give answers too.
Right, they give it helpful advice.
And they give a lot of good advice.
Right, so, we're all helping each other out here because, we've been doing this a long time, but we don't have all the answers.
No, we don't. So I think we're going to put a wrap here, Brad.
Yeah, we're going to call it a wrap. Is that a gojo or is that what kind of deal?
I don't know.
I'm going to come up with some new language for this.
All right. Well, you're supposed to say beauty of the ball.
Oh, that's right.
That's our new phrase, beauty of the ball.
Beauty of the ball. Thanks for
We'll explain that some other time.